The Science of Feeding Tomorrow. Pathway Intermediates.
Today, I'm going to talk about nutritional ways to reduce heat stress. If you are installing air conditioners in your poultry and swine farms, you don't need to worry about heat stress. But it is not economical to install an air conditioner in those farms. That is why we are going to talk about how to reduce heat stress through feed nutritionally. When we are talking about heat stress, we have to consider both temperature and relative humidity. Okay, left-hand side, you may see temperature, Fahrenheit and Celsius. Let's pick 30 degrees Celsius. And then you see relative humidity. Until 50% relative humidity, that's not danger, that's not emergency yet, still alert. But with the same 30 degrees Celsius, if you have over 55 to 80% relative humidity, not anymore alert, it's gonna be in danger situation. But with the same 30 degrees Celsius, if you have over 85% relative humidity, animals go to emergency, right? So that is why we need to consider both temperature and relative humidity. What is the consequences of heat stress? Feed intake lowered, slow average daily gain, poor quality of end products. Mortality higher, plasma cortisol level is going to be higher. On the other hand, the growth hormone level goes down. Immune function will be impaired, and you have high oxidative stress levels, and you have damaged gut wall integrity, mainly due to osmotic stress and oxidative stress. And also transcription and translation of RNA are inhibited. Many abnormalities in cell function are induced. For instance, protein synthesis is inhibited, membrane permeability is decreased, cell membrane fluidity is reduced. When temperature goes up, as we all know, animal feed intake goes down, much less activity. Lactating sows, they produce less milk. Under thermoneutral conditions, lots of blood goes to gastrointestinal tract to enhance digestion and absorption. But under hot weather condition, more blood goes to the skins to dissipate the heat. That is why gastrointestinal tract may have hypoxia. In other words, lack of oxygen. And also they have oxidative damage. Increased hypoxia and free radical damage increase permeability to macromolecules such as endotoxins. Heat stress caused by high temperature increases respiratory rates, resulting in excessive carbon dioxide loss and the respiratory alkalosis, consequently increase of blood pH. So maintenance energy requirements increase as more energy is required for panting. This slide shows you the effect of heat stress on energy intake, heat loss, and available energy for production. Top line shows energy intake. As you can see in the center, in the thermoneutral zone, and the left-hand side, cold stress, right-hand side, heat stress. As you can see, when animals are cold stress, they eat more to produce more heat. But on the other hand, when they were in heat stress, their energy intake goes down to reduce heat production inside the body. What about heat loss and heat production? Again, under cold stress, animals have to produce heat to warm up. But under hot weather condition, they have to lose more heat. So finally, energy available for production, as you can see, under cold weather or in the hot weather condition, they have lower energy available for production as compared to thermoneutral zone. That is why when animals are under hot stress or under cold stress, they show poorer performance than thermoneutral zone. During heat stress, as I told you, less blood goes to the gastrointestinal tract. As you know, gastrointestinal tract weight is about 6% of total body weight, including stomach, small intestines, large intestines, spleen, and pancreas. But they use 20 to 35% of whole body energy expenditures. At the same time, GIT use about 25% whole body oxygen consumption. What about the liver? Liver weight is 2 kilo of a 100 kg body weight peak, only 2%. But depending on the stress situations, hepatic oxygen consumption is as high as 50%. So less blood goes to intestines. That is why gastrointestinal tract may have increased hypoxia and then free radical damage. These increased hypoxia and free radical damage results in increased permeability to macromolecules such as endotoxins, inflammation, and villus damage. Heat stress can compromise digestive function and also limit the nutrient absorption and retention. Lots of scientists have been focusing on improving digestion, but not many people are talking about how to improve absorption. Today we are going to talk about it a little bit more, okay? And then precipitate endotoxemia due to reduced barrier function. How to improve nutrient absorption? If you look at the young healthy man, their nutrient absorption rate is 95%. Medical doctors, they told me, okay? What about growing finishing pigs? Much lower. According to the papers, around 85. Somebody say 80, somebody say 89. I pick 85%, okay? So lysophospholipase, several papers have shown that lysophospholipase improve glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, even vitamins and minerals. How does lysophospholipase improve absorption? Well, I'm not so sure, but some people suggested a possible mechanism. Lysophospholipase increase cell membrane fluidity and the permeability, and also stimulate immune cells and protect from infection. During heat stress, pigs reduce feed intake to reduce heat increment. What about the cold? Under cold stress, they eat more to produce more heat to warm up their body. Okay, heat stress also influence liver weight. As I told you, liver weight is about 2%. 100 kg body weight pig has 2 kilo liver. Okay, you are seeing green bar and orange bar. Green bar is under thermoneutral, green bar is under heat stress. As you can see, liver weight is significantly different. In other words, heat stress reduces the size of the liver. Artichoke leaf extracts protects liver from heat stress. They detoxifies the body by removing toxins in liver, improve gastrointestinal health, and also they have antioxidant capacity. Here is an interesting paper. This is not any science related paper, okay? This is a phytomedicine. They compared the control placebo and the artichoke leaf extract. Placebo, orange line, artichoke leaf extract, green line. As you can see, artichoke leaf extract group had significantly higher biliary volume than placebo. What are the possible nutritional ways to reduce heat stress? I think we need to reduce excess protein. Of course, we need minimum crude protein levels, but some people, they are using very high minimum protein levels. For instance, just after winning phase 1 diet, somebody has 22% minimum, somebody 20, somebody 18% crude protein. I personally go with 18, okay, without any problems. But if we have too much protein, this excess protein is going to be deaminated and excreted. There is nothing free. In order to deaminate and excrete excess protein, we need energy. That is why animal performance will be down. And also, this process generates substantial amount of heat increment. We may say that we can reduce by around 2% point by using crystal amino acids. I think we need to reduce fiber. I'm talking about under heat stress condition, okay? If you look at the heat generation, heat increment, fiber has the highest heat increment, fat the least, lowest heat increment, protein is in the middle. So we may reduce dietary fiber levels by 1 to 2% point. Of course, it depends on the initial concentration. High protein, high fiber diets are not recommended when animals are under heat stress. Maybe recommended for winter to produce more heat increment. I think we need to increase fat content in the diets under hot weather condition because fat has increased dietary energy density, but also, as I told you, fat generates much less heat during digestion, absorption, and metabolism. So I think a higher fat addition under heat stress condition is important. At the same time, as you all know, fat improves palatability of the diet as well. What about using net energy? Some of you are using metabolizable or digestible energy. Some of you using net energy. I'm personally using net energy, okay? So if you are using net energy in your formulation system, you can control heat increment through formulation. In other words, you can reduce heat increment through feed. Next slide, energy partitioning by nutrient. Okay, if you look at the protein, fat, fiber, and Fe mainly starch, okay? Sugar, we can say carbohydrates, right? If you look at the Ne to Me ratio, protein has 63%, which means 37% is heat increment. Fat, 90%, 10% heat increment. Fiber, 41, which means 59% heat increment, and Fe, 77. Let's look at the specific ingredients. Soy oil, 90%, which means 10% heat increment. Corn, 78. soybean meal 63, soy hulls 51. So soy hulls high fiber ingredients. Only 51% net energy, but 49% heat increment. Okay, this is my personal data. I have not published this data yet, sooner or later, I believe. I used growing finishing peaks from 24 to 100 kg body weight under heat stress. At that time, temperature was 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. Humidity is 85 to 90%, okay? I had 4 different diets, A, B, C, and D. If you look at the net energy, same, 2350. All the diets, all 4 diets have same 2350 net energy. What about the metabolizable energy? They have different metabolizable energy. A diet 3092, D diet 3507. If you look at the NE-ME ratio, A diet has 76%, very high. Corn soy based diet maybe around the 70, okay? 69, 70. But A diet is very high NE ratio. On the other hand, D diet is only 67%. Remainder is heat increment. A diet 24% heat increment, D diet 33%. If you look at the feed intake and daily gain and feed efficiency, as you expect, A, B diets have higher, better performance than C and D. So that is why we can reduce heat stress through your nutrition knowledge, through your formulation. Okay, temperature of peak is about 39 and a half Celsius degree. But skin temperature is about 2 degrees lower than body temperature, because the skin is exposed to the air. When you, by using infrared gun, if you have 38 or over 38, you can say this peak is under heat stress. That is why, in this case, you can reduce the heat increment in your formulation. You can improve heat stress problems. Some functional feed additives and nutrients influencing heat stress: antioxidant, vitamins E and C, selenium, methionine, MHA, sodium bicarbonate, chromium, and betaine. Many people have shown that the relationship between heat stress and oxidative status: dairy cows, sheep, poultry, and pigs. Okay, under normal equilibrium conditions, antioxidants are able to modulate the ROS, which is reactive oxidant species. However, in certain pathological stages, such as stress, disease, heat stress, ROS production overpasses the capacity to scavenge the ROS. In such cases, oxidative stress takes place, which leads towards cell degeneration processes. Vitamin E and selenium. Metabolic functions of selenium and vitamin E closely linked together. In fact, they act synergistically. Vitamin E stops oxidants propagation, which very efficiently can scavenge reactive oxidant species. Selenium. As you know, selenium is a core component of glutathione peroxidase enzymes and protects against oxidative damage. Glutathione peroxidase provides the most vital defense against the peroxidative damage of biological membranes. And also, and then vitamin C and polyphenol. Recently, many people are interested in polyphenol. Polyphenol has two functions. Number one, antioxidant property. Number two, they can replace vitamin E by 50%. Anna Paula, she said that the heat stress induced greater protein degradation. And methionine supplementation could induce protein deposition simply because of increased protein synthesis and the decreased protein breakdown. MHA reduces nitrogen excretions, supports performance during heat stress, offers antioxidant capacity. Chromium. Chromium stimulates function of insulin through increasing insulin cell receptors. Chromium increased insulin and decreased corticosterone under heat stress. You can see all the sources of there. So chromium in summer rations, you can ameliorate the impact of heat stress. Chromium also reduced the rectal temperature and the respiration rate under heat stress, and also reduced the plasma cortisol, especially when animals are under stress. Chromium could mitigate heat stress in growing pigs under heat stress condition. You know, swine nutritionists, they are using chromium, organic chromium, like chromium picolinate in growing finishing pigs to improve muscling percentage and improve feed efficiency. And also, many swine nutritionists are using chromium, organic chromium in lactating sow diets to improve litter size, number of piglets. It works, but in my limited experience, chromium also decreases heat stress. Betaine, it functions as a methyl donor donor. It is used for the synthesis of DNA, RNA, and choline, etc. At the same time, it acts as a osmolyte, maintaining cellular water and ion balance in poultry. Under thermoneutral conditions, betaine does not affect feed intake or growth in pigs. However, under heat stress conditions, pigs fed betaine had the lower respiration rates than pigs fed the control diet. Increased nutrient density. Under heat stress, animals eat less, 10%, 20, 30, sometimes 50%. Other nutrients should be increased by 10, 20, or 50% to compensate for the reduction in feed intake. That is why formulators, I am a formulator too, okay? Formulators are using seasonal formulation. Cold weather and the hot weather, we have different formulations. Artichoke leaf extract, as I showed you already, artichoke leaf extracts are high in chlorogenic acid activity, protect the liver function, and finally, they can increase digestibility and absorbability. What about the nutrition ways to reduce heat stress for poultry? Highly digestible feed ingredients, particularly protein sources, need to be used. As I told you, excess protein produces more heat increment. Please don't apply a high crude protein minimum. We can use synthetic amino acids. Now, 8 available synthetic amino acids on the market. Even we can reduce more crude protein than before. Avoid the imbalance of amino acids. Under hot weather condition, we need to increase dietary fat levels at the expense of carbohydrate. Target dietary electrolyte balance is 250. Many scientists say about 160 to 300, but according to the papers recently published, 250 is optimum. And also we need higher sodium levels under hot weather condition because more sodium and potassium will be excreted through urine. People are looking for a single magic bullet which will totally solve heat stress. Many people ask me, hey, Daniel, how we can solve this heat stress? Do you have any magic solution? No, I don't. Unfortunately, there is no magic bullet yet. Okay, what about the total solution for solving heat stress? Number one, feed additive side. Number two, formulation service side. In my personal opinion, feed additive need to have following functions. Number one, potentiate the liver function. As I told you, under hot weather condition, liver will be damaged significantly. That is why we need to protect the liver. And also improve digestion, protect from oxidation, increase feed intake, improve immune function. What about the formulation service side? As I told you, we need to adjust crude protein, crude fiber, and the fat levels. And also we need to consider a mineral balance. And we may need to use net energy system if you do not use net energy system yet. And finally, we need to increase fluidity and the permeability of cell membrane to improve nutrient absorbability. Thank you so much for your attention.